Good morning, Tom. It is Jay Obertans at Rorick Mazda. I wanted to thank you again for checking out this particular vehicle. This is our last one. It is the 2021 Carbon Level Cx9. Actually, the same thing my mom drives, but please, dear God, just tell me that you're a better driver than her. She had her lease for 3 months and wrecked it twice so far, but we won't go into that. Now, I will say there's no doubt about it, Mazda killed it on the carbon trim level. This polymetal paint is absolutely one of my favorites, mainly because there's polycarbonate in the paint, which is plastic, meaning that it has a flat finish to it, but it will actually go from a gray into a blue. So if I go to this side that has no shade, you'll see it really does kind of look almost like a gunmetal gray, and then you'll see as the light sort of hits it and I go to this side, it's going to start turning into kind of a matte blue. Now with the carbon trim, you have a unique grille. You'll kind of see some of these vertical slats in the grille, and you are going to have the blacked out 20-inch alloy wheels. On top of that, you'll notice that your mirror caps are going to be blacked out as well, and then you pick up the unique red leather, which I'll get into in a second. Now, in terms of features, some of them will be pretty similar to your MDX, though a little bit different. Now, similarities, I believe your car being a 2018 does have the Acura watch, which would be like your adaptive cruise control, your lane keeping assist, your blind spot monitoring, your collision avoidance system, and so forth. So you'll notice that this emblem up here in the grille is huge and fake because that's your radar communicating with the camera on the windshield. Now your headlights do have the fancy kind of what Mazda considers their quote Audi style lights. There's basically a bar that comes out of the grille, it halos around the light and goes onto the fender for your daytime running light, and you have these small little LED fog lights in the bottom of your bumper. Now of course you'll see these little dots here, and that's because you have the front and rear parking assist. Which again, still don't understand with my mom, because both times she backed into something, you have a backup camera and something that beeps at you. So how that's possible is beyond me, but you know, honestly, it's a running joke in my family that my mom got her license at Sears. Now, your headlights are adaptive, so they will move left and right as you turn the steering wheel, and they can even read light from other vehicles and street lamps and so forth to use the high and low beams automatically. Everything, much like your Acura, is going to be push to start, so you do have the button here. As long as you have the key with you, you'll just press that to lock and unlock. Now, another thing I like about this trim, if I lock the car, you're going to see that those side mirrors fold in. And it's a visual reference that if your car's not in a garage or in a parking lot, if you ever look at your vehicle and your mirrors are folded in, then you know 100% your car is locked. Because if I unlock the car, you're going to see that those mirrors just folded outward. Now, of course, something that you would expect, a power liftgate in this trim level, our all-wheel drive system ranked out the best in the segment. So, you know, though SH all-wheel drive is good, Mazda got it beat. You'll see some of those rear parking sensors. The third row is up, so I'm just going to pull this little latch and third the third row down. Now, if you do have your car kind of loaded down with kids, there is even USB ports in the third row. So you have 6 USB ports total, and then back here you kind of have a little bit of a hidden floor, and even up underneath that, if I had an extra hand, is your subwoofer for your Bose stereo system and your spare tire. Now, the liftgate is height programmable, so just know that depending upon your new build, if the garage is a little bit lower, which I doubt in modern builds, though you can program it to stop at a little bit lower of a height. Now, rear accommodations, which, by the way, this leather's beautiful. It's red. It's kind of like a darker red meets fire engine. I know, as crazy as that sounds. Now, in terms of rear accommodations, you do have heated seats, so as long as none of your kids are in a booster or anything like that, they can enjoy nice little ass warming. And then you will see your tri-zone climate, and then up under there, you have 2 USB ports. And then seating-wise, again, you have your red leather. You'll notice everything is Bose branded for your 16 speakers, and you even have these little sunshades that will pull up out and sort of lock up into those little hooks that you see on the top of the window. I call them the peasant blockers, you know, just when you don't want to deal with people, you just pull up the shade. Now, interior-wise, Mazda takes a little bit more of a German approach. So you're going to see everything's clean and horizontal. You have a very large 10.5-inch screen mounted up on top of the dash, and everything is controlled on a joystick, very BMW iDrive or Mercedes MB Connect kind of style. Now again, leather all around. You'll notice that they even use sort of aluminum brushwork on the seat trims and around the cup holders to sort of brighten up the cabin. You do have two-way memory and even ambient interior lighting. So there's going to be some LED lights that kind of shine down on the console that are sort of behind here to glow the door pockets and down through here. And again, it just elevates the interior a little bit. So hopping in here really quick, I'm just going to start this. There's probably going to be no gas in it because it just got in. Yep, as I expected. Just going to get my screen up here. So this is going to be kind of a little bit of your safety shield. You can see me using this button here to adjust the adaptive cruise control. You'll have paddle shifters. And I will say, though, this not only gets better fuel economy than your current MDX, and it doesn't require premium, the more important thing is I know Acura's 3.5 V6 that you have right now, I believe the torque sort of, I think its highest output is 262 pound-feet of torque. Ours is 320, and what's really cool is if you look at any like BMW X3, X5, actually if you even go into their turbocharged 6, our 4-cylinder comes in just about 15 pound-feet of torque less than a giant turbo V6 from BMW. So these cars will scoot if you have not really drove them. You'll see your tweeters that they mounted in the windshield pillars up in the corner because they're responsible for active noise cancellation. Here is going to kind of be all of sort of like your infotainment, navigation. You do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. And of course, if I shift into reverse, you not only have your backup camera, but I'll turn on the sensors. Whoops. And then you'll see over there you have your screen to let you know if you're kind of going beep, beep, beep too close to the front or rear. I'm just going to set the emergency brake here. Volume for your radio is going to be down here as well. You have your frameless auto-dimming mirror with the home link. You'll see a little bit of that blue light up there kind of shining down on the cabin. You have your blacked out headliner, and you also, of course, have your sunroof. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off just so I don't waste what little gas is in here. Now, another really cool feature you have with these is connected services. There's an app that you would download in your cell phone, and it allows you the ability to remote start, lock and unlock, vehicle tracking. You can check your windows if they're down, check your doors if they're opened. You can even check fluids and tire pressures all from your cell phone, schedule maintenance from your phone, and so forth. So it's pretty cool. Plus, it's 3 years free is what Mazda gives you, which is the duration of a lease term. So hopefully this video helps you, Tom. I just wanted to kind of give you a gauge and of sort of what this vehicle has to offer, because one thing that I typically find from people jumping out of luxury brands like Acura or Audi or Lexus, though Mazda gets significant recognition, if you really haven't seen one or had somebody go over one, you need to, because I would every bit put this thing toe-to-toe to an MDX. It's even a new one, and every bit I think it would win. And I don't say that just mainly because I represent the brand. I do really think that for its offerings and its price point and its performance is unparalleled. Another thing, just to kind of go back into that performance thing, is when you are in your MDX and sitting in the driver's seat, look up at your visor. You're going to see that your MDX, like every other third row crossover in the entire market, including BMW, who's a performance-based brand, is rated for a higher rollover risk. Our Cx9 is the only third row SUV in production that is not rated at a higher rollover risk. And that just shows you Mazda's intention of how they anticipate people really pushing these cars and being a little bit more of a fun kind of third row crossover and not your everyday average Joe. So I appreciate it greatly. I'm going to upload this video for you and look forward to hearing back. Thank you for the opportunity, Tom. It means a lot.